Was We Are the Millers a commercial success? I know it's become like kind of a cult classic, and you always watch it when it's on like TNT and reruns and stuff like that. But I don't know if when it first came out, was it like smash hit?
I don't know.
I think it's weird to like. I don't want to be the one to say that. It sounds like I don't want to sound like an asshole, frankly. But I think it was quite a big success. Like financially, kind of like
bro, it did $200 million. KFC Radio Live is brought to you by Pirate Water. We are taking the podcast on the road for 2023 for the one show only tour. One. How many shows? One. Two minus one. Pirate Water is sponsoring the tour. We are coming to Boston at the Wilbur. Final tickets available. I'm talking last final tickets available. And then Sunday night in Stamford, Connecticut. Sell that bitch out. Go buy your tickets. You can get tickets anywhere on this KFC Radio social handles. We are also coming to Minneapolis, Detroit, and Buffalo later in the fall. Get your tickets there. Bye.
Yeah, thank you so much. God bless you.
Jeez, man. You fucked so shit up.
Little bit. Sit down, nobody knows.
You're just not in a cast or anything?
No, I'm not. No, it's not that bad. It's just one of those things that's like you just can't wait there for a while, and then
you said it was soccer.
It was soccer, yeah.
Dude, I was actually I was just watching.
Wait, are we good over there?
We are good to go.
All right.
I was watching your GQ 10 Things You Can't Live Without.
Right.
Turns out barely you can live with it either.
Yeah. It turns out I can.
Put this a little closer.
Oh, thank you so much. Yeah.
Wait, how old are you?
I'm 30.
You can't play sports when you're 30.
This is
You can't. You get that 3 handle and you get hurt. What happened? Was it like a freak thing, or was it just
literally, yeah, I didn't do, as is customary, didn't do anything impressive or didn't make a difference to the team whatsoever.
Is this like a men's league team? Like you just
No, this was just like backyard with some friends.
Oh, all right, okay.
And I rolled my ankle, and yeah, after about 20 minutes. I do it quite regularly, actually. I'm very accident prone.
It's a nice representation of the Arsenal season, though.
Yeah, it is.
You fit right in.
It kind of is. Yeah. Although we seem to be doing it in kind of the final moments. We seem to be rolling our ankle.
Rolling your ankle when you're a kid, you do it like twice a day, and you're like, whatever.
Right.
When you're an adult and you roll your ankle, I'm like, I'm gonna die. I'm gonna die. I need amputate it. Take it off.
The end.
It is awful, man. Yeah. Well, thanks for still coming in. I would honestly, if I rolled my ankle that bad, I'd be like, cancel everything.
I stubbed my toe this morning.
I'm done. I'm done.
I'm such a child now as an adult with getting injured and stuff like that. So I was eating breakfast, got up to go put my dish away, kicked the table, and was like yelling. I had headphones on already, so I was like, "You goddamn son of a bitch!" And I kept yelling long after my brain had registered. That didn't hurt.
Yeah.
And I'm like a little kid who starts crying. And I was like walking fine. I was like, that didn't even hurt that bad. You're just reacting to kicking a table.
The only good thing about getting old is that you stop. You don't roll your ankle. You don't remember getting the wind knocked out of you when you were a kid.
Oh yeah.
If I got the wind knocked out of me now, I'd be like, this is a heart attack. I'm dying. Somebody call an ambulance.
Yeah. It's
that kind of stuff. Once you're older, no fucking way, man.
It really is. Yeah. No, I definitely learned my lesson. It was definitely a reminder I'm not as young as I used to be.
I mean, thank God you're not filming anything, right?
Yeah, that's the nice thing.
Yeah.
If this had happened on set of Guardians, that would have been maybe a bit of a problem.
You roll into a Marvel outfit, and you're like, we got to shut down production for the day.
The superhero rolled his ankle.
I was in the backyard with the boys, so tell Chris Pratt to go home for the day. Thanks.
The perfect embodiment of humanity. He can't walk. He was playing soccer.
Yeah, man. You're fucking jacked these days, huh?
Oh, I don't know about that. I mean, look, I gave it my best shot. You know, whatever shot I gave it, once you turn up and you do a scene with Dave Bautista, you very quickly get humbled.
Well, that's the thing. You're probably comparing it to that, but I'm comparing you to me. So, in that sense, you're my Bautista.
That's hilarious.
But people say it happened now. And, dude, I remember you're in bed, not to be creepy, in Dope Sick. Okay. And I was like, what the fuck was that?
I'll tell you what, I haven't watched that show, but I know the picture you're talking about. That's how fucking jacked you were.
Right. Oh, well. Yeah, you know, I was really lucky in that I just started working out for a few years prior to even kind of auditioning for Guardians. And it was something that really helped with my mental health. Like physical health for the sake of my mental. And I kind of was going to the gym anyway as a means of kind of staying fit, both in a mental and physical sense, and kind of started during lockdown. So I, was kind of in relatively like decent shape before Dope Sick. And then one other thing that I did after that, and so that by the time the audition kind of rolled around for Guardians, I was in the car park of the ballpark, as I like to say. So it was kind of an easier transition.
You know what the worst part of it? You just said how it's like, helps with your mental health and all that. The worst part of that is that it works. Like whenever people like, we tried like working out, and they're like, it doesn't do anything. It's chemical. It's chemical. You do a few push-ups, like, damn, I feel better.
I feel
God
better.
damn.
It sucks, but I feel better. It's really weird, man. And obviously if you do it in a way that's safe and responsible and natural, you can protect your mental health and, physical health, like in the process.
See, I'm thinking about doing steroids.
Okay.
I'm thinking about doing it in an illegal way. Just how can I get from point A to point B as fast as possible?
Yeah.
I've heard that's not so great.
I don't walk to California. I fly. It's quicker.
Yeah, exactly. A great point.
But speaking of, we brought this.
Oh my God.
Yeah, buddy. Yeah.
So I actually, you got me hooked on this. I had a buddy who was like, yo, you love Milk Bar Pie. And I was like, I didn't even know what you were saying. I don't know what that is.
What those words?
And he's like, and this is probably like 2-3 years ago. And he's like, Will Poulter has it on his GQ, 10 things you can't live without. And I knew who you were. And I wasn't making life decisions based on you at the time. But he showed me the video anyway. And I was like, that looks fucking delicious.
I've not had this.
Oh, really?
And
I'm excited for you.
I'm a sweet tooth. Like, I'm still a child. I eat like pastries and cookies and cakes and stuff. So
that's the good stuff.
It's been 3 years of I get it.
You got a whole pie.
Bro,
it's not
guess
even a
what that
slice.
cost?
Do you know how much this costs?
Oh my gosh. The whole pie. I don't know. How they cost it? $28.
90.
Oh, that's more than I thought. That is a lot more than I thought.
That must mean they just take whatever the price of one is and just price it out like times 8 or whatever, right? Because that's crazy.
To be fair, the pie itself is 60, and then the rest were delivery charges.
Okay, got you. And the tin foil is $30. That's wild.
It's actually I was like kind of debating whether or not it was weird to show up with something you like a lot,
right?
And then I saw the price and I was like, never mind, that's hilarious. I gotta get this.
Well, I don't know. So I've heard of Milk Bar, but I didn't know what this are. I said, what is it? And he goes, it's a pie. It's just basically a pie of butter.
it's like butter and sugar.
It's not the healthiest thing on the planet. It is
I would imagine
the most delicious thing in the universe, though.
You don't have to have any if you don't want right now, but I'm definitely gonna have to try this.
Well, I'm excited to see you react to this, to be honest, because it's a delicious thing. It's the invention of Christina Tosi, who's an incredible chef. She has Milk Bar all over the city.
It was at Momofuku they made it, right?
Right. So Christina used to work with Dave Chang at Momofuku, and then she established her own pastry kitchens and the Milk Bar kind of franchise, as it were. So it's kind of all over the country.
Tell her to make it easier to get out of the pie.
I should have got the individuals were more price appropriate, and then I was like, well, the price of a $90 one is funnier, so I went with that. Will, you want a mangled pie?
Listen, there are no points for presentation. This is one of our more taste. This is a
ridiculous.
Taste
Eat it like a pirate. Eat it
I love the fact you're eating it off a pretty huge knife.
Jeez.
Oh, man.
Yeah. There you go.
I did not need this introduced to my life.
I knew you were going to love it.
You just put like 30 pounds on it.
That's your latest problem right now.
And honestly, I didn't get I understood kind of what he meant by butter, but now that I took a bite, it's like, this is like an uncooked pie. You know what I mean? It's like when you eat the brownie batter or whatever, or the cookie dough. It's like, that's just all this is.
Right.
God damn.
Now let's address why you stuck this blade of the knife in your mouth that way. You went stab way. Pirates eat it off the side. You were a sneeze away from that coming out of the back of your skull.
I just read. Oh my god, I have sugar everywhere. I read about this when he told me about it, and she used to call it crack pie. They rebranded.
They did rebrand. Yeah.
I think the first name is pretty appropriate.
Yeah, it was kind of a happy accident, as I understand it. Christina brought it in for like staff meal, so she brought it in like as a kind of off menu item when she wasn't actually cooking at one of the Momofuku restaurants that she was working at the time. She was in like an administrative role, and she made it, and all the pastry chefs huddled around and they were like, "This is incredible!
Yeah.
How did you make this?" And she's like, "I don't even really know. It was kind of a mistake." And they were like, "You got to walk us through the steps because this has to be on the menu." Dave was like, "Okay, we're going to put it on the menu." And it's all in his memoir, Eat a Peach, which is a good read
Right.
if you're interested.
Now that you're in shape, do you like stay away from this kind of stuff?
No. I mean, as soon as we cut, I mean the whole thing. It was like $75 worth of pie there. Yeah.
I mean, that is my Achilles heel is food like
It's
that.
sweet
If
stuff.
I didn't have that like in my life, I would be in great shape. Because like other foods, like I can eat like healthy real food.
Right.
I don't mind eating like salmon and grilled chicken and stuff. That's fine.
Yeah.
It's afterwards. It's like I need first dessert, second dessert, snack before bed, and ice cream.
I stayed at Kevin's apartment once, and I know you're a foodie, so this is probably offensive to you. And to be fair to Kevin,
But I'm not like a food snob. Like, you like what you like.
yeah,
If you're white trash, you're white trash.
Kevin.
Well,
to be fair,
I also have
children.
Yeah, so
Right.
I'll eat all that shit myself, but it's like I gotta have all their snacks, and then they're in the house. So I'm like, well, Daddy's gonna have a couple too.
The tax man.
Yeah,
So my dad used to always say, "You just come like
Gotta pay
eat
the
half
tax."
my cake,
Yeah.
you're a tax man."
you gotta pay the
yeah.
tax.
What the hell?
Yeah, my dad checking if it's poisonous or not. I was like, my mother made it. That's your wife. We trust that woman. We love that woman. Why are we?
That's funny.
Yeah.
So, I mean, Guardians, man, is it's one of the most beloved series of all time.
Right.
One of the most successful Marvel movies ever, and you get to be a part of that finale. Is I got to imagine a bucket list thing that you probably didn't even know was on your bucket list.
Yeah. Actually,
Right?
you know what, man? That's a really good way of putting it. I think, like retrospectively, I was like, wow, I think that was a bucket list moment right there. And
I mean, there's only so many spots in Marvel,
for sure,
although there's quite a bit these days. But
For
but there,
sure.
to get one of those roles is awesome.
yeah, and I feel like
way better than you.
Yeah,
that's a good slice right there.
Would you like slice?
That's a good. No,
I
I'm
got
gonna
it
let you.
started
I'm
for
gonna
you,
let you
bro.
have. I'm gonna let you have at it.
I loosened it up.
We're doing all dad stuff.
Have you gone
today.
plastic utensils or have you gone
No. Just
Oh,
not-
okay. That was
just
the
not with a
problem.
butcher's
I needed a butter knife.
just a sensible dinner knife?
You didn't give him a fucking machete.
There's less theatre to that, but it's safer. It's definitely safer. Yeah. That's true.
Oh God.
Yeah,
That is crazy good,
so good.
man.
it's really good.
I still really don't even get what it is. Is it just like gooey sugar? What is it?
It's
Amazing.
all the stuff that's
Bad
probably really bad for you,
Yeah.
but it just that's why it tastes so
Yeah.
good. That's why it tastes so good.
But Guardians was amazing.
Oh, thank you. Yeah.
Incredible. You are. I saw it. You come on screen with quite an entrance, and I was like, he's very gold. And then I read about your gold juice bag that you had
Oh right, yes.
You would have you basically get hosed down
Yeah.
after every
Not far
day.
off. Not far off.
You should have kept that because you have in my research on you for the episode today. You have fans who are very obsessed with you.
Oh, do I?
You have. I know you're like off social media
This
and stuff
guy's
like that,
like,
right?
do I?
I'm like-
Yeah.
I'm-
What, have you not walked by a mirror today?
Right. I got so much makeup on. I don't do my own hair. If I look half all right, I can't take any credit for it.
But no, the hosing down kind of like a zoo animal must have been interesting.
wait. So
Just in a corner and just turn it on.
you're just covered in gold for this,
Yeah.
head to toe. Is it?
Not quite. So I had kind of head, and I would say I don't know. I guess it goes down to kind
Chest.
of about like collarbone.
Okay,
Yeah,
yeah,
exactly.
yeah.
And then hands up to kind of sort of I don't know, like a third of the way up my forearm. Pretty much for the majority.
How
of the
long does that
days.
take every shoot? Is
You
that a long
know,
thing?
we had an incredibly talented team. So Lexi and Lou were the makeup folks who looked after me, and they got it down in I want to say an hour or so. Yeah, probably
It's still a long time though.
probably an hour.
Like
and then
every
hair
day?
was an hour. So
Yeah.
the two things together,
It was
just
on
under
fire.
2.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It was on
they did a great.
fire.
Again, it does not look like that when I do it. I'll tell you that. But yeah, they're super talented. Cassie and Steph were the people in charge of the hair, and they were amazing. And they're really fun people to be around, first thing in the morning, last thing at night when the hosing down happens. It's like, it's nice to be around people who are really like just cool to hang with. Yeah.
Hose time.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, so that made it a pleasure, to be honest. Minute went a lot quicker than you might think.
You know what? Actually, I got to show you something. So I saw a screener for the movie, and they had they
had some like pre-show entertainment or something.
Yeah, they had pre-show entertainment. And I got to be honest, I don't think this was Marvel. I think it was the movie theater. I don't know if this is how I would do it.
What?
It's like some guy beatboxing.
Oh, it's like a...
It was. I walked into the theater and I was like, "What is happening?"
Is that...
Am I in the right place?
So that was someone like kind of beatboxing a like a soundscape or something?
I don't know what they were doing.
I was interested. Yeah. Interesting.
Interesting way to
I
put it.
take my hat off to anyone who can beatbox.
Yeah.
I think it's impressive.
That is one of those things. If I could do it, I probably would do it all the time.
Right.
Dude, super annoying about it.
Right.
When we were kids, we would like skip school and go to a friend's house whose parents we knew we were at home, and we'd like LimeWire or Kazaa, and we'd just LimeWire
Oh my gosh,
beatboxing.
LimeWire,
Yep.
of course.
And then we would just sit there and just listen.
Try to do it. Yeah.
Listen to
That's amazing.
I would have given anything to see that.
If rolling my ankle after 20 minutes of soccer hasn't aged me, the mention of LimeWire has made
Hell
me feel.
yeah. The good old days, man.
Yeah. If
They don't know these kids don't know what it was like,
Oh
dude.
my gosh.
I had one time I downloaded, I forget what song it was I was trying to download, some pop song obviously, and it was a sketch or a skit of, I believe it was just called, not called,
They just named it.
they named it the song,
Yeah.
and it was Barney having diarrhea. And so
Was the song?
the song was whatever pop song I was trying to download.
Okay.
But then once I hit play,
just
it's
Barney
like,
shitting
whoa, we'll see you later, kids. And then it turns into like someone in the bathrooms going, oh boy.
Oh my
And,
God.
It was,
That's
See, the
wild.
good old days, man. The good old days of the internet.
Wild
I'd rather that kind of shit than what goes on these days.
yeah, that's some harmless disinformation.
Yeah, that's the, that's the wholesome shit.
That didn't overthrow governments. That just
Right.
gave me the giggles in church. Speaking of weird video habits, I have a question for you.
Don't weird him out with this.
It's not well.
It's weird.
So I have like when I go to sleep, I like to watch.
Stop right there, because
Okay.
what do most people say? They're like, I like white noise, or I like to watch like a show that's familiar to me. That's all
Yeah,
normal,
sure.
right? Okay, tell him what you've been watching.
The
Three things.
It's something I've uncovered that I think I have. One, you're in. That's why I'm bringing it up. One
Okay.
is Dope Sick.
Okay.
And
the most, just like easy breezy
Not
watch.
the lightest watch. Yeah, I heard that.
and then the other two are Worth
Mm.
and Spotlight.
Oh, wow.
And I
Wow.
think I have a Keaton thing.
They're all
I
Michael
never
Keaton.
even realized it was all Keaton.
It's either a Keaton thing or a wildly depressing thing, or Michael Keaton in a wildly depressing thing.
Yeah, it's either intense
Those are the
political
three-
drama or Michael Keaton.
It is. I mean, we're talking about 9/11, the pre-scandal, or the opioid epidemic.
Right.
These are the things that put John to sleep at night. Right.
They all are very soothing. It's calm conversations with nice
You're a
music.
sick fuck.
Once the other guys get to the mix, we're gonna. It's gonna be like, all right, Taman's Keaton.
Oh my gosh, he's so good in the
He's
other guys.
so good.
It's amazing to look at his career because, for all the incredible kind of sort of, I guess what people sometimes refer to as like highbrow drama,
Yeah.
that he
Birdman,
does.
all that,
And he's also can just come in to a movie like the other guys and just crush. in
Yeah,
this
just
silly
have a
Rips
blast.
TLC on everyone.
Yeah. He's a cool dude. I'd like to get him in here.
I love. I
Did you get much time with him?
I did get to spend a lot of time with Michael, and that was one of the coolest things is that someone obviously I admired. He's a legend, and like for a young actor like myself, watching someone kind of conduct themselves the way that he did, whereby he shouldered this massive responsibility of this role that was like deeply personal to him, and then to also extend himself to like younger actors like me by just being really kind and encouraging and supportive. and still kind of occasionally find time to like, you know, joke around when it was appropriate too, and just kind of just be a nice guy. It was very cool.
He's a cool cat.
Very cool.
Anybody's Batman too. It's like,
And he was
back as Batman, dude.
yeah, that's
and-
right.
and-
That's right.
Yeah.
Have you seen where he says like, you want to get nuts in the new one?
No.
Like, because you know that's his phrase in the first Batman. You want to get nuts?
I
Let's get
actually
nuts.
Oh,
I always thought that was a Costanza.
Well, yeah. Costanza does say it, but he goes crazy at one point. He has a crowbar and he whacks everything off the mantle. And he's like, let's get. Maybe he doesn't say.
No, that's
let's
Jack
get-
Nicholson. That's a Joker.
No, Michael Keaton does it back to him. Like,
Oh, okay.
like
I haven't
I'll
seen
get
the movie. I
fucking
don't know why I'm
crazy
correcting
too.
you.
I think. But and then in the new one, he says it like much more calm, but he's like, "Let's get nuts" or something like that. It's like a little nod. They played him side by side. It's kind of cool.
Oh, cool.
But yeah, he's up there. He's one of those.
Oh, he's
you know,
amazing.
I mean,
Are
you've worked with an outrageous for a 30-year-old, and you've been in
Yeah,
the
you've
business
had-
forever. But you got Leo, Hardy, Keaton,
Aniston,
Aniston,
Sudeikis.
Sudeikis.
Like,
Yeah.
you know, you've done them all.
Who's your favorite?
I'm really lucky.
No, who's your least favorite?
Yeah.
Who do you hate the most?
we'll just rank them. We'll just go. Let's just list them.
Best to worst.
I've been really lucky, you know, to work with the folks I have worked with. I mean, it's hard for me to pick a favorite, obviously, but you know, I think anytime, again, as a young person in this industry, you're around, you know, more experienced people, you kind of have your proverbial notebook out and you're kind of absorbing just through observing them and watching what they do, and that's such a cool position to be in.
You know what helps though?
You know?
Your accent. You know,
Oh, right.
like if I'm like an established actor and I'm on set with a kid actor or like a teenage actor, you know, but he has an accent, I'd be like, all right, he's like legit.
He drinks. I'm sure.
Yeah, he's sophisticated. I feel like you're the latest person on my list of I didn't know he had an accent, which is a lot. It's a very common thing for Americans where we're like, they don't talk like me. Not everybody talks like me. But I didn't know it until I didn't know
I had an English accent.
Right.
I don't think I knew that until this interview. Like, when I first Googled it.
But even like I knew it coming into it, and then still when you opened your mouth in here, I was like, oh, that's right.
Why is he
Like,
doing
I
that
forgot
weird
it
British
again.
accent? Yeah. When's he gonna drop that? Yeah, it's
you're doing
funny.
an Austin Butler thing.
Yeah, I don't know. His Elvis accent apparently is amazing.
But he didn't stop.
I didn't know that.
He's at award shows and in his regular life still talking like Elvis.
Oh, really?
Which is not a bad move. I don't know. Whatever.
I didn't know that, but
Yeah.
yeah, it's funny. Like growing up, you know, we watch and I don't want to say consume because it makes it that's such like that sounds like the death of art. But like we do see and listen to so much kind of American media, so we're kind of exposed to the accent from like a young age.
Sure.
And you know, like everyone grows up watching, you know, The Simpsons and like The Fresh Prince and these shows, and we hear the accent, and so everyone is kind of in the habit of, I guess, like doing impressions and quoting things in American accents from a young age.
from right
So
away.
like as Brits, we almost get like a bit of a head start on it. You
Yeah,
know what
that
I mean?
makes
It's
sense.
almost unfair
Yeah,
in
yeah,
some
yeah.
ways, because then I think people are particularly harsh on American actors when they try and do British accents. It's like, well,
we're not
it's
doing
harder
it.
to it's harder to do. And also I think sometimes the British accent is represented in a kind of quite a binary way where it's
Yeah.
like,
Hello, governor.
Or either that.
yeah, there's no nuance to it.
or it's like we're too posh to function.
Yes.
And,
Yes.
it's like, there's like nothing kind of in between, and you know, it's a small country, but with a huge range of accents in different regions, and
Sure.
so you know, you hear all kinds of.
where do you
accents.
live now?
I live in London.
London.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
so
yeah. I
you
still live in
have you
London.
ever lived over here?
No, I've never lived over here. I mean, I shoot things for long periods of time. So like, you know, for Guardians, I was basically in Atlanta for about 6 months,
Wow.
you know, and bouncing around different parts of the States, but predominantly in Atlanta. And then, you know, then I was kind of back in London for a while.
Why Atlanta?
So that's where Marvel Studios are.
Really?
Yeah.
That'll do it.
Yeah, exactly.
I would have 1,000% guessed it was L.A.
I surely would have guessed LA.
Yeah.
That's where Marvel does the movies.
Yeah. No,
Okey-dokey.
but that's fair. And they've got great crews out there in Georgia. And I loved Atlanta. It's one of my favorite places. I really enjoyed it.
Was We Are the Millers like your breakout? Would you call it that?
Yeah, at least it was my first movie that I shot in America.
Yeah.
So I'd done 2 films before that, and was kind of still at school, and that was sort of one of my first things out of school, really.
That's got to be a weird. So you were probably what, like?
I was
teenage-
19, I think.
Yeah.
19 years old.
It's like It's just funny having some of your like goofier younger years and like and that was the role, right? So you're like being extra goofy as like this teenage son in the movie.
It was funny when we were discussing the costume for that. They were like, like Kenny's kind of goofy and this, that, and the other. Like, you got any ideas for the costume? I was like, well, here's a picture of me at school.
How about my everyday outfit?
Like, yeah, exactly. How about we just throw some stripes on this t-shirt? I've already got the Casio. I've already got the JanSport backpack. Those dad shoes. I'm ahead of the game there. So it was kind of it all became pretty.
Was that like? I mean, you must have felt like the man after that, though. No, you go back to your friends and you're like, yeah, me and Jen were on set. No big deal.
I grew up watching, Jen in Friends. I was a huge Friends fan. I loved SNL. I was very familiar with who Jason was. So to work with him was so cool. And Rawson had directed Dodgeball, which I'd loved. So like I was just stoked to be on it. And then I kind of went to college right after shooting Weird and Miller's. I think the timeline. I mean, it doesn't help that I'm dyslexic and I'm a college dropout, but that's roughly
gang.
So you pretended you were like, I gotta go to college, even though you.
Here's the thing. At that stage, I genuinely didn't like. I didn't know if Weird was going to come out, and it might have totally flopped, and then so I went and at least attempted to get a degree, and then quite honestly, I got offered a role in a job, and I did like the cost benefit analysis, like tuition fees were expensive. Yeah. Our government lied to us about raising tuition fees. That happens. And so then I was like, this is costing me a lot of money to be in college, and I've got an offer to do this job. Went and did that, and like glad that I made that decision.
Was We Are the Millers a commercial success? I know it's become like kind of a cult classic, and you always watch it when it's on like TNT and reruns and stuff like that. But I don't know if when it first came out, was it like smash hit?
I don't know.
I think it's weird to like. I don't want to be the one to say that. It sounds like I don't want to sound like an asshole, frankly. But I think it was quite a big success. Like financially, kind of like
bro, it did $200 million. You idiot!
I think it's a lot of people saw it.
I don't want to say, but yeah, I was a fucking monster, dude.
You uninformed, uneducated idiot.
No.
Now that I'm thinking though, like that scene with Jennifer Aniston alone probably put a lot of butts in the fucking scene. So, man, that movie, that scene where like you're supposed to give the guy the blowjob to like get over the border or whatever it is so goddamn funny.
There's some wild stuff.
It's so goddamn funny.
Looking back, and it was fun as well because it was a comedy, and Rawson was so kind of so comfortable and au fait with all of that stuff. Like some of the funniest stuff would just be like thrown out from behind the monitor. And Sudeikis being on SNL,
sure, he
improvise.
Was just yeah.
Jen is like, such a gifted comedian that. There was just a lot of like fun. Had Catherine Hahn's in it, Nick Offerman.
It's a bomb squad in there.
Yeah, it really is, of just really gifted improvisationalists as well. So to be around that was cool. Yeah.
And so now Guardians, you're going to be doing. We got to wrap it up. Yeah. Okay. Well, so Guardians is going to be an absolute.
You think that one's going to be a commercial success?
Yeah. You think that's going to sell it all?
I don't know. My family have all bought tickets.
Yeah. I got the beatboxer showing up to all the showings tonight.
That should drive sales. No, listen. More importantly, genuinely, is like that. People really, really like it, and obviously when it's got a pre-existing fan base, it's an emotional ride. That's for sure. Yeah.
There is some like. Sid from Toy Story to it, and where I got quite freaked out during some of the scenes.
Oh right, because some of the toys kind of
the spider rabbit. Oh god, what the hell?
It's one of the most popular ever. So to be part of the end is going to be pretty cool.
I feel very lucky, man. Yeah, awesome, absolutely. Dude. And they're all such a great bunch as well. Like that really mattered as well. That
you could feel that. I think there was some opinion, some feeling with some of the more recent Marvel movies where like they kind of lost the essence of like almost. I'm a big Fast and Furious guy. Where like sometimes they lost the family in a few, and then I could feel it again in Guardians. So I was like, oh yeah, this is like the fun, everyone's together kind of deal. I very much enjoyed Guardians. And I think
congrats, man! Congrats on all the success.
And before we let you go,
thank you.
Oh yeah,
we have a new thing on the show that we've been doing.
You're our first.
Literally, you're our first guest.
You're putting you on the spot.
Oh my gosh!
You got a fun fact?
Just a fun
I
fact.
feel like everyone's got a
Anything.
fun fact to keep in the
A
change.
fun
Just
fact
a
about anything.
fun
Just
fact.
a fun fact. We learned yesterday. Someone called. It was a voicemail of the caller called in, and they said that William the Conqueror, when he was laying in state, exploded on his funeral goers.
Body got all like gaseous.
because they didn't embalm people and
That
things
was a
like
fun fact.
Not for them. Here, another example we'll give you. I'll pull it out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Back in the day when pirates used to eat food.
Oh no.
When pirates
Used to eat off a big knife point. Right? Yeah.
they used to blow their candles out below deck so they wouldn't see the maggots on their food.
Holy smokes.
So now I can only eat in rooms lit like this.
That's
and that's
something.
been since I was a child. I've been like that because of that one.
Okay, this one isn't really
No, it's
fun,
fine. Just
but I feel like
fact.
I'm feeling like some leniency around the rules. The term cats and dogs. Do you know, like when it's raining cats and dogs?
Yeah,
Do you have that
yeah,
expression
yeah,
over
yes.
here? Before
Yes.
I totally alienate an entire nation.
and it doesn't. Yes, we have it, and it does not make any sense.
Okay, so basically, back in the day, and we're trying not to put you to sleep here, but like post like industrial revolution and whatnot, or sorry, I should say pre that, when basically pets weren't just solely kind of like for domestic purposes. They had to like work, you know, to like the farms, and they had to like help out with the animals and livestock and whatnot. Cats and dogs would sit up in the like rafters of the barn where it was like warmest and away from like the like larger livestock or whatever, and they had like thatched roofs.
Right.
And then when it rained, the cats and the dogs would get soaked and would like fall down. And so that's the expression raining cats and dogs.
They were.
Yeah.
That's a
So that's,
Will. That's
Unbelievable.
exactly what we were
is
looking
that the kind
for.
of fun you're looking for?
So much fun.
You're welcome. Anytime.
When they plummeted, would it be to their death?
No, there would be no death or combustion. It would just be, yeah.
That would have made it a little more fun, but okay.
That could not have kicked off fun facts on KFC Radio.
You're so welcome.
Thank you,
so
bro.
welcome.
Thank you very much, Will.
Let's eat this whole goddamn pie.
Thanks, fellas. Yeah, get into it. Get into it. Thanks a lot, guys.
All right, big thanks for watching. If you made it through this whole episode, that means you should be subscribed. There's so many of you out there who watch and don't subscribe, so make sure you are a KFC Radio subscriber. Make sure you get all the content when it drops. Click that button now.
I have 9 fingers. I'm still subscribed. It's that easy.